understood it's not a short or mid-term business activities journey. It's as well about legacy. So we will have Georges Kedourie for this topic. Please welcome Georges Kedourie.
Hi guys. Yep. Okay. This is really exciting. We've been here. I thought it was 5 times, but it was 6 times. So UK is growing, and Alex wanted me to talk about building a legacy. I don't know. Are you guys aware that your LifeWave account is inheritable? Yep. So for me, amongst my whys, of which there are many, this was a really big why. That my daughter can inherit my account. So now, a lot of people here have been talking about health things. I was not looking for a health solution to my life. I was looking for a money solution to my life. And that's what LifeWave gave me, though within 3 days I saw huge health benefits. So I'm going to ask a question, 2 questions perhaps. Who here wants to make a lot of money? Okay, that's good. That's good. No, because a lot of people, I've heard them say yes about the health, not so much about the money. So it's really important to understand that LifeWave, the way I say it, we've got 2 products. We've got the patches and everything else that David's going to bring, and there are amazing things coming. You've heard of some, and there's more coming. And the other product is the compensation plan. So it's really, really important to understand that the compensation plan is just as much a product of LifeWave as the patches and everything else. That's a physical product that gets sent by DHL. So back to kind of building your legacy. Earlier on, I think it was Stacy who was talking about children and their stem cells being very active, but I said flippantly, but no bills to pay. No bills to pay. So bills can give you a lot of financial anxiety if you don't have the money to pay for them. Who in this room has financial anxieties that they like to, just a few hands? Oh, more hands, that's better. I believe you now. So if you have financial anxieties, and if you are consequent and persistent, the way I say it, on the one hand you're persistent and consistent, and on the other hand you've got patience and passion. You can hear all of us who've spoken here, we've got passion. We love what we're doing. Patience, sometimes one has to work on that one. But if you have those 2, and in between those 2, you have the desire and willingness to learn. Not everybody has it, but listen to everybody. You will get something from everybody you listen to. Not everybody will be your favorite person, but listen to as many people as you can. Get to as many events as you can. On as many Zoom calls as you can, because as time goes by, you will develop your own. You will synthesize all those things that you're hearing from other people, and you will turn that into your message. But besides those things I just mentioned, it's really, really important to have made the decision. I am going to do this. So I'm going to ask another question. Who in this room can say, hands up, I am going to do this? Okay, so we're going to grow UK more than 25% with you guys. I'm very, very happy to see that. So, no's. Enjoy the no's. Some of those no's can be pretty hurtful. Some of you have heard me say this before, but a close friend of mine, he said to me, do you think I'm going to stick something on my skin, a slurry made in a bucket? And that's pretty hurtful, but you know what? enjoy the no's because they will help to develop your posture. I know what I've got. People have all sorts of views, attitudes and so on, but you have to really just stay with this and develop your posture. I don't care what anybody says to me, what their opinion is, because I know what I've got. We've got something so powerful to share with the world. And the world needs us. You know what I said to David? When I wanted to make myself SPD, which was the old top rank, because I wanted to be able to talk to David. And one of the things I said to him is, David, well, at first I ran up to him the first time I saw him. I said, hi, David, I'm George. And he says, thank you for what you do. He doesn't know me. And I said, no, thank you. We need you, and the world needs us. So this is another part of, in my case, the development of my posture towards LifeWave. Now, talk to everybody. But a lot of people say, I don't know how to talk to people. So you can ask questions, and I do that all the time. However, before that, learn to say hello. I say hello to people all day long. And many people say to me, I don't know how to talk to people. Say hello, don't be afraid to say hello, and start a conversation. One thing which has been useful to me, and maybe be useful for you guys, is, okay, if I say to you, what do you do? Don't you love it when people say, what do you do? Do you like it when people say, what do you do?
No.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I mean, what do you do is a really boring question.
Yeah.
But what I do is I say, what do you do when you're not eating in a great restaurant like this? What do you do when you're not lying on the beach? What do you do when you're not playing paddle ball or whatever it is we're doing? That's a very different question, and people answer that question. So, by asking that question time and time and time again, example, I'm on the way to Anaheim. The guy, the receptionist in the hotel, Afghan guy, very nice guy. I say, what do you do when you're not being a receptionist at the hotel? That started a conversation. He signed up with me. So somebody said earlier, you never know, Jill, you never know who you're going to meet tomorrow. I had no idea that I was going to have a nice vibe with this receptionist. So be open to talk to everybody, because all of that helps to build your legacy. So, Stacey talked a lot about confusion, and I say this, a confused mind will always say no. So clarity is important, and sometimes it takes us a little bit of time to learn to be clear with people. So to be, the way I also say this is, 80% of this is the work we do on ourselves, to get better at what we do, to get better at communicating, to get better at reaching out, to get better at supporting people. So, and this is something I said the last time on this stage, really important to stay on an even keel. You've heard Alex say, some will, some won't. So, and I said, so what next? And he says, he did French, and sorry, he's the product of the product. Excuse me, I kind of lost it there. Yeah. Also, something that we talk about in our team, we're offering 4 things here. We're offering better health and well-being, and anybody will understand that. We're offering better emotional health, and the number of messages I've received from people, things like, I'm in a much better mood, or you can't believe the joy this has brought to our family. Better spiritual health, and that's more subtle, but you know, I get messages. I got a message the other day from a lady who had multiple sclerosis and a host of other things. She said, thank God you didn't say no, because my first reaction to LifeWave was no. Until I saw the video, I think it was the video Stacey was talking about, where David was speaking about his technology. And she said to me, this woman said to me, thank God you didn't say no, because my life has changed completely. When I first heard her speaking, I had goosebumps and I mean tears. I mean, her story was incredible. So it's better spiritual health and better financial health. And I tell that a lot because, why do I tell that? Because a lot of people at the beginning, when you're talking to them, they have resistance about the money. Does anybody find that? Yeah. Okay. So with the resistance about the money, by telling them this gives them their face and allows them helps them to get through this resistance. And I always say, listen, not everybody wants all of those things. I do, maybe you do too. So that kind of opens another door. And all of these little tips I'm giving help you to build your LifeWave and thus build your legacy. Now, there's something else I feel it's fairly important to say. A lot of people are asking every day for testimonies. Is there a testimony for this? Is there a testimony for that? You've heard it, yeah? Now, my response is this. There might be. And you may or may not, or your brand partner, prospect, may or may not have the same result as that person in that testimony. And it's important to understand that we all come from different tribes, we've got different DNA, we've used and misused our bodies, and that the fact that there is a testimony doesn't mean you're going to have the same result. The fact there isn't a testimony merely means that there isn't a testimony. My response to everybody now is use the patches, keep us posted. Use the patches, keep us posted. And if you do find a testimony, great. And if not, don't worry about it. That's an important thing. And what it is important, because Claudia this morning, she talked a little bit about this, is to understand that what the patches do is they set the stage in a body for that body to heal itself. So we don't really need to understand every single detail of, I'm not a medical person at all, and I people who say, I've got this, and I have even no idea what it means, so I go and look it up. Oh, it's something to do with inflammation. Okay, please try Aeon, please try X39. Keep us posted. Yeah, this is important too. If you want to make this work, building a legacy, don't try and do it all yourself, all by yourself. Who here tries to do this all by themselves? Okay, you need to understand you're part of a network, and you've got an upline, and you should reach out to your uplines regularly and ask your uplines to help you. I have people in my organization who never do this and never really go anywhere because they silo their people. Chris is nodding. We had more than one conversation about this. So it's really, really important not to do that. When you don't make it about you, when you make it about them, but you also connect them with the people in your organization, sometimes it's maybe not somebody in my upline, maybe it's somebody who is in my organization who can offer to that person the information or the knowledge or the encouragement or whatever it is that that person needs to hear. So that's something. Another thing. Okay, we talked a little bit about this. This stuff, it's very simple stuff. Yeah? And the way Chris and I describe it, we both say this is the easiest hard work we've ever done. It is the easiest hard work I've ever done. I've done all sorts of businesses which were much more labor intensive, mentally intensive, but it's still work. So you want to be doing this every single day, every day. Some of you may have heard John Maxwell or heard of John Maxwell. Okay, so John Maxwell, he was invited to speak in Orlando, and he's fairly sleek. I guess he's about 78 years old, and he's got a nice line that comes like this. And he's sort of saying, look, guys, I got a very big tree that I need to chop down. He said, but look at me. Look at me. He says, I can't be chopping down trees, but he says, I've got a very sharp axe. I've got a very sharp axe. He says, what I can do is I can go to that tree every day and I can hit it 5 times. And the people said to him, but you mean every day? Yes, every day. Every day. But he says, not all day, but every time I go to hit the tree, I go to the same tree. I don't go to another tree and another tree and another tree. There's a huge message in there. Be consistent and do this every day. I'd never heard him speak before, but he was great. How's the time?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, sometimes I go over time. So look, the main thing, and people have talked about this. Have fun. Have fun doing this. We're dead serious about what we're doing, but have fun while being dead serious. Yeah, and with that, we can help a lot of people in many ways, not just in the health ways, but in their financial lives. I'm blessed to say that there are people in my organization, and Chris was one of them, who were completely back against the wall after COVID. Who was back against the wall after COVID? Yeah, I had 3 businesses after COVID, I had half a business. So I'm blessed to be able to say that these people are now living with their debts paid off, with money coming in every week, with the ability to create. Let me ask you a question, Chris. Did you ever think 3 years and 3 months ago you'd be in the position to build a house? No. You see? He had no hope for the future. And this is huge to be able to do this with people and help people to build their dreams. So, yeah, and the last thing, I guess, is so have fun, help a lot of people, and make a ton of money.
So guys, before we finish, I just need to go on one important topic. I guess everyone likes to travel, correct?